All right, this video is for beginners. If you just bought one of these or you're thinking about getting a metal detector, getting into this really fun hobby, well, these are the 10 essential things that you're gonna need to do this hobby. So stay tuned. All right, number one on the list, you're gonna need a pinpointer. So these are little miniature metal detectors. And what they do is they basically have a little sensor on the tip here. And when you turn them on, it turns this into a metal detector so you can take it out of your pocket and go down and pinpoint where the object is that you just heard with your metal detector. So let's say you're swinging, you hear something, you kneel down, you would get this out next, turn it on, and then turn your little miniature metal detector right down towards the dirt and figure out where that object is before you dig it. That way you can make sure that you don't dig right into it and damage it, and you can make a nice little small hole without having to make a big hole. Pinpointer, it's number one on the list for a reason. It's super important. I'm highly recommending that you get one. All right, number two on the list could also be number one on the list. Super important, just as important as the pinpointer, is you're gonna want some headphones to listen to this with. Otherwise, you're trying to hear everything through this little speaker here on the back of the unit. You see right on the back of the control head, there's a little area where the sound comes out. And with headphones, you get to hear all the details of the sound. As far as today's metal detectors go, they make a lot of very detailed tones over objects. These are things that'll give you sonic information that'll tell you whether or not you want to dig the signal. So you can look at the number, you can hear the tones, and all these things help you decide whether or not you want to dig that signal. You don't want to dig everything you hear. You only want to try to dig for the good stuff, right? So you need some headphones that will either connect with a wire on the back of the unit or wirelessly, like the ones I'm showing on the screen right now. These are the headphones that go with this unit that connect to it wirelessly. That way you can have your headphones on, and when you're metal detecting, you're not bothering anybody else around you. Just the sounds coming right into the ear, and you can hear all the details. Headphones are super important. All right, number three on the list, you're gonna wanna have some kind of a small digging tool like this. There's other options like shovels and picks and things that are big, but these are small. You can put this in your pouch or carry it in a holster like this. And you'll notice that they have these serrated edges to cut the roots in the grass. There's a lot of different options. You're gonna wanna have something that's just nice and small like this that you can kind of hide on you and not have to worry about carrying it separate. All right, number four, you're gonna wanna have some kind of a pouch like this. I use this for a couple different reasons. I put my digger in here, and also my pinpointer goes in here. My fines container goes in here. My gloves are in here when I'm not using them, and I use it for trash. So when I'm out detecting, if I find a bottle cap or a pull tab or some shredded aluminum, any kind of trash at all, I throw it in here, and at the end of the day, I'll walk over to a garbage can somewhere and empty the trash out of my pouch. But the pouch serves the purpose of being able to carry my shovel, my pinpointer, my fines container, and trash if I need to. So you're gonna wanna get something just like this that's belt mounted. There's a lot of options out there. Like I say, this one's a little bit bigger. This is called a mag dump pouch. That's what I use. And you'll see down on the screen right here below what this is called if you wanna do some research on it. All right, number 5 and 6 go together. So number 5, this is the container that I use. I have this inside my pouch, and inside there I have a golf tee made of wood, obviously. And I use this to clean relics or coins because the wood is so soft that it won't damage the metal. So I carry this with me. It's nice and pointy. If I need to scrape some dirt off with it, I will. Then I could go to my brush. I like to start with the soft, just regular bristle brush and clean something, a coin or whatever. I'm always very careful with coins. And then when you get to cleaning relics and stuff, if you go to a wire brush at all, you're gonna wanna go with brass bristle and nothing more than that. Don't use your stainless steel bristles, just your brass, because again, it's nice and soft and it will tend not to scratch relics. You never want to use any kind of a metallic brush on a coin, that's for sure. There's also something you can carry like this where you can get a coin out that has dirt on it and spray a little water on it to kind of clean it. You see guys doing that in the field a lot, on YouTube videos especially. And if you're looking for gold, you're gonna wanna have something to put your nuggets in. I brought a couple different containers because these are the types that you'll see at the suppliers. This one's cool, it's made of glass, and the nuggets sound really good in here. Boy, they got that sound with the glass. But I can tell you a couple different stories where people were shaking these and they broke open and all their nuggets spilt out. So because of that, I recommend in the field, when you're out actually looking for nuggets and carrying them, that you get a plastic one because it won't break. Even though it doesn't sound as good, be careful. So these are things that I will carry in my fines container inside my fines pouch. All right, number 7 and 8 go together as well. You're gonna wanna get some gloves and some knee pads. These are the knee pads I use, and these are the gloves that I use. So what I do is when I'm digging, I have these on while I'm detecting and while I'm digging at all times. When I'm going into a hole and I'm scooping dirt out, I wanna be careful because there's broken glass in there, there's sharp metal, there's nails, all kinds of things that can hurt you. So you get yourself some gloves. Also, these will protect you from poison oak, insects, all kinds of other stuff. So gloves and knee pads. And number 9 and number 10 go together as well. So you're gonna need something to carry water in. So I like to carry water in some kind of a flask. This is a hydro flask. It's metallic. It's got a handle here. I do have a pouch that I put this in and zip it up. It's on my side right here. When I need my water, I pull it out, but check this out. Very important, I learned this from some hikers one time. This is a great tip right here. Get yourself some tape, some good tape, and wrap tape around the base of the bottle like this, because you never know in the field when you might need some really strong tape for anything. It could be to fix a broken machine, you know, your metal detector breaks or anything. It could be to put over a sore on your foot, some kind of a way to protect your foot from a blister. There's all kinds of things that you could use this tape for, or maybe it's for survival. But just take the time to put some tape around the bottom of your flask. That way you always have tape ready to go and you don't have to carry it separate. And the water, you can never bring enough water on a hot day. Boy, I'll tell you, don't go small on water. Go as big as you can, because you're probably gonna use all the water that you can carry on a hike on a hot day. Well, I've been a paramedic firefighter since 1987, and I think this is the perfect first aid kit for the metal detectorist or outdoor adventurer. So let me go ahead and just read through this real quick. You're gonna need your alcohol wipes, some Benadryl, liquid gels, an EpiPen if you can get one, Israeli bandage or tourniquet, regular bandages, some quick clot or bleed stop, a tick removal tool, a knife like an EMS knife, some tweezers, sunblock, powdered electrolytes, survival whistle, some latex gloves, anti-diarrheal medicine, and some antibiotic ointment. All right, try to get yourself a little pouch like you see on the screen here so that everything can fit inside of it, and get the smallest of everything you can on the list. Don't let that be a reason or an excuse why you don't have something because of size or weight. Carry it on your belt or in your backpack, and just make sure you always have it with you, especially when you're on those big adventures out into the wilderness. All right, I got some bonus tips for you. Let's talk about coils. Each machine may have different size coils available for it. Here's a big coil, and here's a medium-sized coil and a small coil, and these different coils have different uses. Here's a little clip about that right now. So having the right size coil is super important. If you own a couple different size coils for your machine, you should always bring them with you on your detecting trip, because you never know, there's a right time and place for all the different size coils. So I have a little 6-inch round on here. That's the smallest coil I have for this machine. And you can see that it's a double D design. That means it gives just like a little knife edge blade look into the ground. It's 6 inches long, the knife blade, and it's 6 inches deep. So as I swing this through a whole bunch of iron, nails, or whatever, I'm real likely to hear a coin kind of hiding in between nails with this small little coil. But I wouldn't have as much luck if I was out there swinging this thing in the iron, because it's gonna hear multiple nails at one time and not the coin. But there's a time and place for this big coil too. So if you're out in a park and you're on a ball field where there's not a lot of signals, there's no nails, no trash, and it's pretty quiet out there, you don't want to be swinging this little, painting a little tiny picture on top of the grass with this little thing, and you're not going to get any coverage. There's no need to have a little small coil that's not going to go very deep out in the middle of a field where you don't have a situation where you have iron. So that's where this comes into play. And you get this out there and swinging in that big open field area. Now you can go down 15 inches deep with that same double D blade, but it's a 15-inch long and 15-inch deep blade. So basically, this is something you want to take out into an area where you don't have a lot of iron and you just want pure depth. Now, in between this are several different sizes. I like this little design here. It gives you that 6-inch wide to get between the nails, but it also gives you a little more coverage from this distance here. So this is actually a 5.5-inch by 8.5 inch. So you get 8.5 inches of toe, heel to toe size, and you get that good knife blade going in, that much distance, 8.5 inches of a knife blade, going down about 5.5 inches, 6 inches deep into the ground. So this is kind of a combination of something you would use in the iron and something you would use on the fringe of the iron. Then you have kind of an all-purpose, all-around general size here, kind of the 12-inch. You get the 12-inch this way and the 9-inch this way. Again, this is a double D. So there's a right coil for every situation. Make sure that if you are out in a place where you know you're gonna be in a big open field and you should have this on, you would be more productive to bring this along with you and take a few minutes to switch it out before you hit that field. And if you're out there with this little guy, you're just not gonna hear that much ground and you're gonna miss things. And like I say, productivity is out the window. It's gonna take you forever to scan the same area that you could have scanned with this in a fraction of the time. Another bonus tip for you, this is a really fun hobby. You're gonna wanna find like-minded people and other detectorists. So check your area for metal detecting club, prospecting club, or a treasure hunting club somewhere in your area and join it, because you're gonna meet new people, you're gonna make new friends, you're gonna learn about all the different machines, see what everybody's finding. Here's a little clip on that. This is a little bit of footage here from a recent hunt that we had with my metal detecting club here in California, where we went out and planted some pennies in the dirt about 2 inches down, and they were painted different colors, and depending on what color penny you found, you would win prizes, and some of them were worth silver coins and even better prizes than that. So we have a lot of fun doing stuff like this 3 or 4 times a year, and we have our Christmas dinner and we have our monthly meetings. You know, we get to talk technology and stay on top of all that, show off our finds to each other, and we have guest speakers come in. It's a lot of fun. And I want to talk about my sponsor real quick, High Plains Prospectors. That's where this machine came from, and all the gear that you just saw, most of it came from there as well. If you go down in the description, you'll see I leave a link down there for you to jump into their website. It's an online retailer, award-winning service over there. They have everything, great prices. And you could use my discount code on some things. Exclusions do apply, but check out my discount code down there as well. You may be able to use that. But if you're gonna buy any of this stuff here, that's probably the best place you could go to get it. That's where this came from, like I said. Love those guys over at High Plains Prospectors. And also, down in the comments, you're welcome to leave me a question down there. Like I say, if you're getting into the hobby or you're already in it, you're new to it, you have any kind of a question, my email is also down in the description as well. You can email me or just ask questions down below. Believe it or not, I look at every single comment and I try to answer them all. I'll look for your comment and your question. Leave it down below. And lastly, if you like this kind of content where you get to see me talking about all the different equipment, all the different machines that are out right now, and also some fun adventures, you can like and subscribe to my channel, and that way you get a notification every time I put a new video out teaching you some really cool tips like these. So I look forward to your like and your subscription and even your comment. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.